Gimli, dude, relax. Relax, bro. Bro, can you cut it out, please? Bro, don't be punching me in the face. Stop. I will beat you up, so I'm gonna choke you out. Gimli, look. Say hi. Go get your toy. Go get your toy. Well, I got a show to do. Man, let me get a little sip. All right. That's some cold coffee. Yo, welcome to the show. My name is Joey Muggz. This is Muggz with Marketers. Today's marketer is the one and only Doug Lawson. You have got to check this guy out. Find him on LinkedIn, hit his DMs, subscribe to his newsletter, and you're going to find out why. This guy is a no-nonsense marketer, okay? He's a very anti-guru, anti-normal way to get in front of people. By the end of your 6-week boot camp with him, you will know how to systematically deploy a strategy that's unique to you, that serves your content buckets so that you can always serve your customer, okay? Either through value you're adding in free content or that the value that you've added through your free content drives conversion. That is the most important part of us doing all this stuff. In lieu of giving value is getting a return, okay? Sometimes the return is eyeballs. Sometimes the return is monetary. Sometimes the return is friendship, which is what this has turned into, man. I've known him for a couple years and really excited about kind of christening the episode with this. So quick warning, okay? My goal is to make sure that these episodes moving forward are very application centric. But frankly, this was such an exciting opportunity to get Doug on the line. I think that the wide variety of topics that we cover are still something that you will pull away from, some serious application that you can bring to your business today. Stick through to the end, and we'll see you on the other side of the cup. Pulling now. Cool. So yeah, we'll continue some of the chatter, but go ahead.
Just context. I've been telling Joey for, I don't know, 2 or 3 years. Dude, you're great on video. Because the first time you and I would touch base, you sent me a DM. And it was a video clip. And it was really well done. It had subtitles. It had its facts. I mean, this guy is really charismatic on video. And I said it very fast. Said, hey, dude, I don't know who you are, but you need to get on video. And we just started talking about this and that. You know, over time, then you joined my boom cohort. And then over time, but every once in a while, you will post a video. Man, dude, why are you not posting more video? And I want to say that the reason why I told you to start recording is because I fundamentally disagree that everybody should be on video. No, absolutely not. There are some people who should not be on video, or more specifically, need lots and lots and lots of help to be on video. But for you, it's a mix of your charisma and just your passion for technology and video combined together. It's just very, very addicting. So whatever happens from this day forward, you belong on video. Get on video, whether it's live, YouTube, podcast, or all of the above. I don't really care. But yeah, I just wanted to say that, look, I don't say this to anybody. There are a few people, man, you should not be doing video. Whatever it is you do, stay away from the camera. Just focus on taping content for you. And that's just the truth.
Yeah, brother, that is a massive compliment. Thank you for that. It means a lot, dude, because you mean a lot to me, seriously. And I talk about you a lot offline in terms of if anybody even brings up LinkedIn, don't follow anybody else. This is the first. I'll get them to get online, get the account going, and you're the first account that I send them. And I tell them,
thank you,
brother. Like it's because you're very value oriented. So I say thank you to you because it's consistent, and even when your brand has some form of a touch to it, I really love the newest headline that you've popped in for your LinkedIn, dude. I love it. Like you are willing to adjust, but not completely uproot what I'm expecting from you. And so there's a level of continuity, even when there are these slight changes or brand modifications or what you're willing to try. And so it's I'll tell you. So let me confess, brother, because this is why I've been unreasonably scared of video. Unreasonably. It's like, it's clearly my space. I want to be on it. I'm good at it. I do have a bit of zeal that kind of overrides my technical know-how, and I'm not techie. So, but for some reason, it has been like most recently, and the company that I was with, I do a little bit of contract work with them now, but I've moved from being a W-2 employee to a 1099, and then I'm really moving forward with, ironically, there's been a lot of like artists that I've been helping out, like musicians, producers, like on the cover band. So it's weird. The lane that I've hit and the people that I'm not the market I would have targeted initially, but the weird thing about it is like this irrational fear that I've had to get over. It's nuts. And it's to the point where I realized by going all in, throwing all the chips on the table and just screw it, dude, burn the boats, right, on this, that I feel a lot more confident that I'm going to do something I'm going to dislike, but my production output and the value that's within that production will be high enough that I'll still co-sign it. Even if, even if it could have been different, the background could have been different, or the like whatever, dude. Just, I want to get my output at an unreasonable level. And I think I have the wherewithal to do it. So you saying that, bro, is right, as it's a rebuke. It's a rebuke to like, bro, do it. Because
you have the wherewithal, you have it, and you're at the right moment in time. That there's a lot of tech out there to help you increase your output. It doesn't have to be so manual anymore. But regardless, you have the it factor. I'm telling this to you as honest as I can be. You have it. I don't know what's going on, and here's the thing about showing up in content. It's a mirror. It's a mirror of where you are, what you're going through in your life, and because how you are is how you show up. So, and so if you don't show up, it means something's happened. So, yeah, time to go all that. And thank you for the compliment for my brand. Believe it or not, and this is a real heart-to-heart talk. My brand is kind of in a law at the moment. And yeah, I mean, I think if you think about Coca-Cola, right? Or, by the way, I'm not that arrogant. I'm comparing myself to Coca-Cola. Just saying a brand, right? Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Or Apple, or any of those family known brands. Sometimes they get style. Sometimes they have to spice it up. Sometimes they have to come up with Coke Zero. Sometimes they have to come up with something to get the market to take notice again. Without, well, that's what Coke does well. They don't change fundamentally, but they are trying different ways to get your attention. I think my attention game in 2024, especially August, September, has really taken a massive hit. Who knows why? But that's the life of a content person online using content to drive traffic to themselves and create awareness that, hey, you accept, you have credibility, and people should buy from you. And right now, for whatever reason, I'm going through the motions that I teach my own clients. There's something missing. And I don't know if it's because my existing audience has got back to the point, has gotten used to me and the things I say consistently over the years. Because you're right, I don't change my tune. I mean, content is not rocket science. It doesn't need to be hyped up as this mythological thing. It's very accessible. There are a few principles you need to learn to do it right often enough. So I'm eating my own dog food at the moment and trying to figure out, okay, so how am I different today? What can you say? What am I not saying? Is it because my existing audience is used to my messages? Do I need to change? Do I need to go and love with other people's audience to bring in a newer audience who's never experienced me before? So these are questions I think about for other people and myself.
Yeah. It's good to also have to eat the own food too, right? It's just like they say, are you drinking the Kool-Aid or are you cannonballed in it? It's important to iterate on these things. I think you made a great point on Coke, right? With one of the things they did was switch over to make those machines that are just about in every Five Guys and every other like spot that I actually have a standalone machine is switching over to those where I get to create my own, and it's a bit more like user experience focused rather than them changing the product, is allow the customer to change the product at the end user point. That was probably one of their most innovative recent things that I can think of. And it doesn't change the fact that it's still Coke if I add peach to it or something random, right? So I appreciate that point.
I never thought of it like that. You know, when you go to, I don't know, the local fast casual dining place, and you used to have to say, hey, I want Diet Coke, and they'll just fill it up for you. Now it's like, here's your cup, and you go. And like you said, it's just chaos. Well, you're still going to pick Coke, but maybe you feel like cherry to that. You have the option to put some cherry flavor to your Coke. And it's just but I pick Coke, not Pepsi. I just prefer my Coke to taste this way for tonight. It's an interesting democracy of choice these days. A brain to take it. I have to say, even I'm going through it with it. I haven't. So if anybody listening, I have a niche brain. I have a micro brain, which is still powerful. Not the global brain. It's a micro brain. Well, I have 100 people that'll have bought for me. That's all I need to make a living, right? Now, when it dipped to 70 people, then you start taking over. Sure, I used to get 100 people to buy for me. Now it's 70. What's changed? What's missing? What do I need to spice up? So, yeah, I think I vehemently hate people. I don't hate anybody. I disagree with people who portray as their brain is magical. It's a magical mountain of gold, rainbows, and unicorns that never makes a mistake, that never goes off point, that never veers off. And that's not believable in any sort of way. Every single brand, both global and micro, goes through growing pains.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point. It would be more honest.
I can't go online and be like, guys, I'm really sad today because I'm not getting as many impressions as I used to get. I can't do that. First of all, that's not me. Second of all, my product is meant to get used. So, yeah, it's very funny. I'm sorry. It still works. But for me, something changed. But I haven't yet been able to find the courage to suffer today. To say, hey, you know what? I'm having growing pains right now. I've got to figure out what the obstacle is. Do I go around it? Well, first of all, I need to identify what it is that I'm struggling with before I can fix it. So, yeah, I'm sorry for interrupting.
No, you're not. And that's kind of the whole point is knowing how to shift with the market without losing yourself within it, and then not thinking so highly of yourself as if you can't be subject to the very same thing that the people we're trying to help go through, which is like, what did I do wrong? Maybe it's not anything that you're doing wrong. Maybe that's the point. Maybe the point is that there's a bigger depth that you can have with the people that you have contact with, or it might have to be, we need to actually update the strategy to both consistently stay where you've been at, but then how do I chum the water somewhere else to either drive traffic back to this or become a presence on there separately? And that becomes what's overwhelming. There's a context that I've been really picking at lately, which is that buyers do want to be, nobody wants to be sold. All right. So let me go ahead and get the ism out the way. However, we do want conditions to buy. And I think we're conditioned as buyers to not qualify ourselves better so that the professional on the other end can help us in the way that we need it. So there's this like fine dance that happens between the seller helping me understand what I don't know that I don't know so that I can be aware, while also me being curious enough to allow them to show me something that actually might be a better fit than what I had in mind. And so the example I give is like, there's this knee-jerk reaction. If you walk into the store, it's like, or the car dealership, and it's like, oh, hey, how can I help you? The guy walks up to you while you're on the lot and you're, I'm just looking. Yeah, but you're not looking for sedans. You're not looking for two-seaters. You're looking for a truck. So it would help the seller to help you to let them know I'm looking for a truck today. And it would also help be in their best interest to say, cool, even if you hit them with the I'm just looking, well, right on. My name's Joey. There's trucks lined up in the back. We have a couple new vehicles that just came in. We also have our guy that's on the lot. If you need to have your vehicle appraised before you decide to look at anything, Again, my name's Joey. I'll be here if you need anything, or I'll come check on you in a few minutes. That is like me being informative enough, and also like not trusting that the buyer knows how to qualify themselves. But I think culturally, as consumers, we ought to be a bit more curious and allowing ourselves to not start with such a high wall of defense up, because I don't want to be taken advantage of because of previous experiences. You know,
think about the online market. I love that. The thing about the online market is that it conditions the buyer to start that process of qualifying themselves to you because of TikTok, Instagram, and all that. Now they're picking products and services and solutions that best fit them, and so that when they go to a car dealership, it's kind of a disconnect because car dealership is super traditional in how they market and provide services versus your online experience on this, which is very much consumer facing. So, radical transparency. If I were to take over a car dealership, it would be radical transparency. I would give you the pros and cons of competitor vehicles, which is unheard of in the car market. Because why? I know that's how most of my customers are trained through this powerful app, which is you're allowed to weigh the pros and cons. We're most likely going to pick those that we trust rather than the product that's best for us.
That's correct.
We're going to buy from those we trust. No, don't buy something that's better for us on paper. So it's a different mindset these days.
Yeah, that's a great point. You know, as early as yesterday, the coaching call I did with somebody was on that topic of you're not selling your product, you're selling trust. And the idea that you're kind of expanding on right now with that is that this market is like, it's crazy how I will trust an ad campaign that hits me, because this was another kind of extension of another conversation where someone was arguing with me on the efficacy of paid ads. And I don't think that paid ads are wrong, but it's not where I play. So, and I gave him a consumer example of like, you know how many times somebody has hit me on an ad campaign on Instagram, and that that copy, the video was so good that I don't need to do a lot of research about them. I believe them based on what they said and showed right then. And so that's what leads me down. Maybe I am a bit more inquisitive to want to hit the link and see what the landing page looks like. And I'm looking at my seller side is also kicked in here. But realistically, how many other people are clicking this mindlessly because it was convincing, it was convicting, it was very transparent? To your point, I think that's a very big word that's not maximized today, is the transparency, which is, for the record, one thing I love about your social proof is blocking out names and showing text messages, right? Like, that is brilliant. That has nothing to do with me just measuring what you're doing on the back end or making my customer feel like they have to show me certain results. They're telling me based off of their experience what's happening in real time. So that's brilliant, dude.
I learned that from being a copywriter almost a decade ago when I first figured out how to make money online. That was through copywriting. So I picked up the old school copywriting books and I started studying how these guys are able to sell. You have to remember, before social media, if you bought something from a direct response piece of copy, which was a newsletter in your mail, it was a magazine ad in the back of a magazine, those types of things. If you did it right, you were able to convince a stranger to take the next step. So nothing moves the stranger to the next step by increasing the probability of an outcome. And the only way to prove that, hey, if you work with me, the probability of an outcome is really high. Then showing social proof, I can talk all day long. Online, I can talk so much crap about what I know. Here's what I know. At the end of the day, I'm not going to get as far if I don't just, boom, this is the client that got $100,000 revenue in 1 month using LinkedIn and a newsletter. Here's the simple game plan. Boop, 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 boop. Let me know if you're interested. That moves behavior. They don't need a whole preamble about what happened in the private life that has nothing to do with the product you're selling. They just want to know, can I trust you? What is the probability that something good will happen here? Do you understand me? And then we can start moving behavior a little bit better. So my social media strategy is very similar to a direct response strategy. Except I don't sell as seller. I'm not a hardcore seller. I'm a social seller. I sell through emotion rather than pushing people to take the next step.
Yeah, that's excellent. Isn't that weird? It seems like I've seemed to notice this too, where it's like, so for instance, I've identified recently that I'm a marketer by in my mind. However, I've been trained as an outbound salesperson. So like that becomes part of the cosmetic of what makes me as a seller, right? And as a business person. And I can also like recognize how what you just said is a good point, because I run into you online and I enjoy just about every piece of content. I can't think of one specifically, so I'll actually go as far as to say every piece of content you drop, even when you're roasting people who do selfies and then drop a selfie in a response to the copy, not necessarily to the market or what that the market is looking for selfies, but your copy will address yourself even in your distaste for the way that people do it for the sense of clout, right? It's brilliant because that's like what I think I experienced with someone on like a live stream. I had a brother mention that at one point, that the reason why his live streams would outperform my polished content every day of the week is because he's uploading 5 days a week. If I'm working on one video, the benefit of mine is that it's polished, right? And there's all these effects and stuff that are thrown on, a sound design. In his, it might just literally be a mic, but his kid coming into the studio and kissing him goodbye, or the wife coming in and dropping in off camera a plate of food for him or the drink. Those are the things, the scratching of the nose allow that familiarity to be built, where people on the other end as consumers, as viewers, feel that connection. And so it's cool because I would agree, based on a consumer, being a consumer, when I see your content, it is very like outbound focused, like an ad campaign focus, but you're not throwing the ad money at it. It's the calls to action are that of which that would be in a paid campaign. And that makes me believe it more, especially when you're willing to also call out the garbage that's out there. So this is one of the hopes I have with even our conversation today. If you don't mind, man, I'll roll into this so that we can actually capture a big portion of this within the context of the show, which, for the record, I don't have a formalized intro yet. My thought was I'm going to give it a purpose and then allow you to introduce yourself. And then post edit, I'm going to make an introduction that actually has a little bit more polished, hype reel, where I can grab some of your stuff. And then whichever ends up working out to be best, that's what I end up running with. Is that cool with you?
That's fine. Go ahead. Do you want me to intro myself?
Yeah, in just a moment. What I'm going to do is actually ask, before we get too far ahead, since we're on this kind of like interim part right now, the main things that you want to end up promoting. I know you had started working on a YouTube channel. Are you still aggressively pushing at that right now, or do you want people to follow you more on LinkedIn? Like, what would be the main area you want people to find you at?
Okay. So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Doug. I create messaging that stops for founders who lead their company, they're the face of the company, and they need to create online messaging that actually stops and gets attention. And that conversation allows the sales team to take over with smooth ease. So, you can find me on LinkedIn. That's where I hang out the most. But what I'm really aggressively pushing isn't YouTube. It's my newsletter. I am going all in on my newsletter these days. And I'll tell you why. Because I'm tired of the algorithm telling me what I can and cannot talk about, what I can and cannot do, including YouTube. So I'd rather just be unbiased, unleashed on my own newsletter. And quite frankly, I get better results when people open my newsletter, read through it, really learn and digest what it takes to survive online. And I tell more using my newsletter than I would with my YouTube or my TikTok. I've experimented with everything, and nothing beats the LinkedIn newsletter combo for me personally. But for other people, it might be something else.
That's part of what I think is important with being holistic in the way that you handle it as a businessman or as a business, is being true to how it is that works best for your style. So even for the record, I get a ton of newsletters. Yours is the only one that I open regularly, man. And I mean that sincerely. because it's so value packed that if I miss something that you posted, I will get something in there no matter what. And that's something that I'm going to definitely pop in the description for people to join. If they don't already follow you on LinkedIn, please do so. Doug, you are extremely important to me as a fellow creator. You are what other people tout in terms of why, like, you got to be authentic, but you actually are. Whereas I see people recycle things. There's a very big difference in being inspired by something by just copy pasting a formula. And I never see or sense like the copy paste formula from you. And having the pleasure of spending some time with you outside of just the traditional forums through your cohort, I've also seen you be very specific to the people that you help. So there is like a general, like, hey, here's a rule of thumb of what terms are so that you know what I'm defining when I say something. And that way we have the same language. That's important as a coach. But then you also go as far as to critique the specifics of the assignment that was carried out, which I very much appreciate, man. Not to mention it's a result of why when you post social proof, it's believable. Not only have I experienced it, it's believable with just looking at it, but it's another thing to go through it and then actually get that one-to-one critique, even in the group setting, when we follow the instructions that you lay out. So thank you for that, bro. And I'm grateful that you also said that it's more about unleashing across these different platforms, right? So better believe that with all the different rules. I just posted actually right before we got on. I commented on somebody's post and LinkedIn tried to flag my comment. And it was like a real basic comment where I didn't say anything crazy. It wasn't, but it gave me a prompt that said like, hey, we've been flagged for content like this before in the comments. Are you sure you want to post it? It's like, geez, man, like this is.
But I know you're not somebody who goes around the platform and does online fights. You're passionate about what you very bad. But I can't believe your content will get flagged. By the way, I got flagged 2 months ago, so that's part of the reason why my content is not getting the reach it used to, because I used to swear word between a friend and I in my own comment section that I thought was quite harmless. I mean, there's people online doing way worse than I am. So I got slapped. No warning. No warning. I got slapped so hard that they took away my follower button. So you cannot follow me. So like when you go, like if we're not connected, and you say, oh, I like this Doug guy. I want to follow him. Usually the follow button is on the upper right side of your post. So you can click follow. Or if you go in my profile, the follow button, funny said, they took that away. And I followed the complaint. I'm like, hey, what's going on here? This is my first violation that I've ever gotten. 6 years on this platform. I've ever gotten. Can I get it back? I mean, obviously, I won't cuss again. I apologize. And it was a stock letter. Like, if you write to your congressman or congresswoman, and they don't answer you, they have a stock letter. Thank you for sharing your concern with that. We are so grateful for you living in the state of Florida. We work really hard to make sure everybody is heard. That kind of BS. And then you're back to me. I'm like, what is that? I'm asking human to human to put the button back and help me out. I make a living on your platform, and I support everybody. I don't go around bad mouthing people. I was talking to a friend in my own comment section. That's what you thought, and then nothing. And then the racist goes to take it. Look there, it was just, what's going on here? And then I went, hey, am I being shadow banned? And they're like, another computer pop. And like, no, I need to speak with the human being. Am I being shadow banned? And they came back a couple days ago. Sir, we don't shadow ban people. We don't do that. Okay.
Sure you don't. Sure you don't.
What do you paint me for? I didn't take this in my head and make. And didn't Elon Musk just uncover 3 or 4 years ago when he bought Twitter? And Twitter said, for years, we don't shadow ban. We have no idea. Maybe your content is not doing what it's supposed to be doing anymore.
Sure. Yeah, it's your fault.
Twitter, and then comes about, they've been shadow banning people for years. So I'm not stupid, but anyway, I'm sorry you got slapped or the rest about that. What did you say?
It was actually all I said was that hook got me to click. That's what I wrote. I posted it, dude. I'll actually, maybe I'll drop it in this and post edit.
Hook got
Like,
me.
like it was like the hook for,
What
you
do
know,
you
like,
think you meant?
I don't know. Maybe it's because I capitalized the H in hook. It wasn't even like it wasn't a lot of exclamation points. Yeah, like it was, and this is where it's funny, man, because to your point on it being inauthentic, even from the platforms that demand authenticity from its creators, the irony that we have no real communication, there's no real support system. And it's another reason why I think it should behoove the creator to deplatform people to somewhere where you actually have access to them on a direct basis. Because at any given point in time, the platform that's in question right now, in the pro version of it, has a score that you can set up on people, right? And it gives you some score of your profile. So the idea that you're not being shadow banned when there's no way you would be allowed on that platform without them running that score on you, so they know who to push it out to, aside from their audience demographics, who not to push it out to because of the audience demographics. It's a lie, and it's dishonest. It goes back to like the radical transparency that you would bring, say, to a car dealership, and what is different. But the problem I think that we're running into is, I think
I would respect LinkedIn so much if they were saying, yeah, you are shadow banned. Yeah, to be honest, yeah, we don't allow this type of language on our platform. And in my mind, because I'm an adult male, it doesn't matter what I am. I'm an adult. I was like, shoot, what can I do to redeem myself? I mean, it's a relationship with your customer. But they didn't do that. They just have to lie to my face or hide behind political language. And like, no, if you had radical transparency, you simply told me, yeah, you're on a shadow ban right now. We are not allowing you to get the views you used to have because you are in probation period.
Yeah.
Fine. I could be like, okay, at least I'm not going crazy. And I could go set up on another platform. Whoa, this profile here. But they're not even doing that. They're making you question. Oh, what did I say?
Yeah. What a great point, man. Like it's your, I think it's funny because even without them being honest, you still, the immediate recourse is, do I need to change my language? I promise I won't do it again. Let me give you something. Let me either act in a way that's going to show right, and a change of behavior if it's my behavior that did it, but then also could you justify why that behavior is wrong? So to only get like a stock letter back and not really have any recourse as to how to correct it in a timely manner, what it does is like it neuters the creator to be able to continue pushing forward and being bold in a way that would really, for instance, grab new audience. Because there's a big difference between awareness, and I learned this really much I want to credit you for this big time. The difference between an awareness campaign and the way I measure an awareness campaign is very different than a conversion campaign. That is Doug Lawson 101 to me. Now that I have learned that, it has changed how I measure all of it. Sometimes I only want people to come look at my profile. I don't mind that you don't follow or you don't. It was meant to be a wider net to get attention. But then when I do have a client that is, or a prospective client in my sites, that persona, I do want them to have the recourse to take it a step further, take our relationship to the next level. And so if they don't give you that, like a clarity on how to find redemption, then for instance, by removing the follow button, then what else are you to do beside deplatform them, which is ultimately like against the interest of the platform, right? Like if I gave you a recourse, then not only do you show me how valuable this platform is to you, but I also show you that there's a reciprocation of this, right?
Exactly. So, and not really, okay. So I think all platforms, Facebook, Meta, whatever they call themselves these days, Twitter, LinkedIn, I think they do not trust the consumer anymore. It's gone. It's gone into the point where they don't realize that each platform has the ability to self-regulate. Like, you're gonna go on a platform like LinkedIn and be a complete jerk and derogatory. If the platform never done anything, or they didn't cut it down as hard on it, the culture would take care of it. You won't get hired. Nobody will hire you as a client. You will lose all credibility. You will lose social proof, etc. It has that mechanism already built in because it's a culture. It's its own culture. Now, if you talk about Twitter, it was always set up to be a community-based platform where everybody came in and just fired off messages, whatever. And when you try to regulate that, you lose the human characteristic of being able to come on a platform and share your opinion.
Yeah,
You cannot
right.
be trusted to share your opinion about something. Then what are we even doing on the platforms anymore?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And you know, I would almost venture to say this is why it's important to show up slightly different on the different platforms,
Yeah,
but then it becomes kind of back to the very initial comment that you made as we started recording, which is like if the medium that I do best at is in video, then like lean into it. If copy, which I think everything, this is another reason I've grown a massive respect for you, is everything comes back to copy. Everything starts with something written, and that starts maybe with the thought. So you have to have the critical thinking to work those things out. And I think that the exercise and the discipline of writing, it constricts it makes parameters, and within those parameters is actually where you find the creativity. That's the point, right? Like when I only have a certain amount of characters, like even in just the tagline before somebody hits see more on LinkedIn, I have to be creative within those character limits, even if the rest of the copy elaborates on the idea, and that's really where the main idea it is. But you still need to make the packaging sexy, bro. And it needs to be something that a stranger or a follower will follow through with. But the point of not offering the creators a clear road to redemption when there is a problem, because most of the support on the back end of these big companies is all AI and just stock letters, right? With political language, as you mentioned. I think that's exactly right. And then secondly, the fact that like, if you don't perform well because of the kind of platform that it is, then don't think that it's necessary for you to be on it. You know, maybe there's that, like, I will absolutely be on Twitter. I'm not going to be on Threads, and they have similar functions, but I just won't. Maybe that's a wrong thinking for me. I don't know. Maybe I'll take your take on that in a minute, but it's the same reason why.
You're a consumer. You're free to go where you fit in. So if you fit in on Twitter over Threads, I think I understand why you do. But it doesn't matter. You have that democracy of choice to go and hang out where you want to be.
Is that what caused you with you recognizing just the different kind of politics between the platforms? Is that what caused you to start making your newsletter, or was that the kind of the beginning?
The newsletter takes me out of that matrix. I no longer have to worry about, well, would it play well on Twitter, or would it be a great YouTube video, or would it be a great Threads, or would it? I know I could just get up in the morning and with the blank document, I have a problem in my mind. I have to figure out what's a great story. Because at the end of the day, if anybody reads my newsletter, this is copyright. That's really, really arrogant to say, but this is my best copy that you're ever going to find me doing. It is me, uncensored. When I say uncensored, I don't mean I'm cussing or I'm throwing up. That's not what I mean. Uncensored means I am no longer regulated by how many characters I have to write, whether I need to post a selfie with that, or whether if I have music playing in the background, it's going to copyright my video on YouTube. I don't have to worry about any of that. I am uncensored. All I have when I go on my newsletter is my ability to write great copy. Period. And I can measure my performance based on the amount of phone calls I get. So if I'm not doing a good job, I have nothing to blame. I can't blame the algorithm. I can't blame Mark Zuckerberg. I can't blame YouTube copyright infringement. I have nothing to blame but my own ability to get you to read a newsletter all the way through and do something. That's it. It's the most pure form of marketing. For me, now, other people might not be good at that. For you, I still say, buddy, you need to be on a video platform. Now, live streaming sounds good. I would prefer you on podcast. So it just depends how far you want to take it. I think that's your back. For me, my back is long form text-based content. I don't want to be regulated by that. So, but however, I cannot just, people don't just magically show up in my inbox.
Yeah, right.
I have to go out to one of these platforms and drive awareness of, hey, this is your new startup. This is what we talk about. If you want to know more about ABC, sign up in the new startup. I still have to leverage LinkedIn to drive traffic over there. So that's my new strategy. So I go to LinkedIn, make awareness, I set, make sure they understand my credibility. And now,
Yeah.
instead of booking a call with me, I much rather you just go to my newsletter. And I say that, don't book a call with me. Go to my newsletter. Go over there. So that's how I'm thinking about it.
That's good. That's honest to your approach. And I think first of all, if more people thought like hunters in that regard of like the purpose of leveraging the tool that is social media isn't just for you to get likes and shares. That's great. But I do want that to convert. And even that, I don't want, if I booked 30-minute calls with everybody, dude, that would be the full-time job by itself. Right. And that doesn't necessarily lead to conversion just because we're meeting. So
you put outbound sales in your career. Think about how much energy and effort it is to have 30-minute calls 4, 5, 6, 7 times a day. It's exhausting.
Yeah, it is. It is. I
don't want 7 phone calls a day. I want 2 to 3 phone calls a week of highly qualified buyers with money in their pocket and 90% of the way done.
Yeah. That's them
getting on a call. It's literally just to discuss details.
That's brilliant. I think it simplifies also.
The inverse ratio, which is you're 10% there. I have to do 90% of the work on a sales call.
Yeah.
That is my worst nightmare. That typically happens when somebody says, for example, just to give you an example, it's hypothetical. Joey, your best friend Bob learns B2B, whatever. And you go, hey Bob, you need to get on a call with Doug. And Bob goes, okay. And then Bob gets on the call with me. What do you think the sales call is going to be like? Bob doesn't know what my values are. He doesn't know what I do. I don't have any credibility in Bob's world except for what you told him. And when we get on the sales call, and it's painful. Referral, I love referrals. So everybody listening, give me referrals. I love them. I'm not saying don't. I'm saying I do better with somebody who goes through the content funnel and comes out in the sales call. They are 90% there. I don't need to do much. I just need to make sure the offer fits what they're looking for. And for that, it's over.
Yeah.
What, Bob? It's 10% there. That means 90% of what I have to do is sell myself on a call.
Yeah.
It's exhausting.
Yeah, dude, that's so true. Even so, like in a sales interaction, you have that road to the sale. The online space, it's like you're trying to handle objections and answer hidden objections through the copy. And that's the benefit of doing long form, even if it's in the form of like a newsletter. It doesn't have to be like a long form video, but that's why it's important for someone to get slowed down. And even in like traditional business to consumer sales, there is a skill necessary for the sales professional to slow down the conversation. It's knowing how and where to slow it down that matters. Because if I don't, for instance, do something like discovery, then that's going to show up in the close. That's going to show up when I'm handling objections and dealing with rebuttals. And beyond your skill of being able to do that, that's beyond the point. What I'm trying to relate here is there is that the human interaction allows for me to be responsible more for the discovery on the front end. Whereas for something like a newsletter or like a long form 20-minute YouTube video, I am not able to read the room here. I'm trying to handle those objections and handle those concerns during my video sales letter or during the news copy, which sometimes is not done in one letter. That's why like a playlist matters, or like being subscribed and getting a weekly or bi-weekly update on a newsletter which gives context to the rest of everything matters. Dude, you like that's a major key. That's a major key.
That's what I do for B2B companies. So I have solopreneurs. We do the same thing. But if you're a solopreneur, it's really important for you to understand the concept that people don't buy culture, they buy culture. So it's more important that you show up. What are your values? Put it out there. What do you disagree with? Put it out there. What is your credibility? Put it out there. The more you put it out there, the more people trust you. No, company, one company make a mistake and put a direct ad that goes straight to the offer and book a demo call. Well, I don't want to book a demo call. I don't want to talk to you. That's what the customer is saying. I don't want to talk to anybody. I want to be able to understand what you do and don't do. Your pros and cons. I want to understand how you're different from X, Y, and Z. I want to understand how you fit into my entire fall, so to speak. Well, the more you can front load people with that information, the better your sales call will be. And the less you'll need these discovery calls and then follow up and kick into codes and call.
Yeah.
None of that is all front loaded. So every company is different. Some companies need a YouTube channel. Some of them need a podcast. Some of them need blogs. Some of them need. It's different for everybody. But for the most part, I don't think companies still see blog, newsletter, or YouTube video. Well, if I don't get a customer from this YouTube video, it didn't work. That's not true. You have no idea how long it takes somebody to make an educated decision. They may not be the primary decision maker. They might have read your company blog and shoot, I need to print this off and give it to my boss. Because he's the decision maker. How can you make an attribution about that behavior? I just displayed for you. This is so incredibly simplistic, but it does happen. Which is, I make a great piece of content and turn it into a blog. You, Bob, not the decision maker, read it, and like, yeah, we need that. Let me give it to Mike, my senior supervisor. Mike might have to kick it up to say, we have no idea of knowing where that content is in the attribution step. However, because we front loaded the questions, the answer, the objection, all of that, the decision maker is ready to make a purchase. Because it's been vetted by X, Y, and Z up the chain. So the team is already advocating for that. And all the decision maker needs to do is go to your website and make sure you're legit. And the offer makes sense for the company budget-wise and ROI-wise. Well, all of that is front-loaded. So that's where content comes into play. So that's why I said I don't want people going on my LinkedIn post, and immediately booking a call. No, please subscribe to my newsletter. Read a couple. Enjoy yourself. Take your time. Because selfishly, if you do book a call with me, I'm telling you, I only have to do 10% work, which is, hey, what is most important to them to make a decision today? Is it budget? Is it turnaround time? Is it whatever? Is it the structure of the deal? That's stuff that can be negotiated within a 10-minute period. And the work is done because they front loaded everything they need to know about me. What they don't know is it's just a good offer for me. So that's why I do what I do for myself, company, and individuals like you.
Wow.
But that's a different way of thinking. I mean,
right.
What I'm saying, nothing I'm saying is new. Lots of people have talked like that, but it's very difficult to convince companies who have invested thousands of dollars in HubSpot, thousands in Salesforce. Because what are these tools? These are attribution tools. They're only you download my PDF with the HubSpot, that's all they're measuring. They're not measuring anything else. So if this PDF didn't convert at a high ratio, well, then the PDF sucks. You don't know that. That's not true. That's not true. You have no idea if this PDF went down the chain. You have no idea who read this PDF. So it's more about blowing. It's your cup runneth over. So it's like that famous Bible parable.
Yeah.
You have to allow the cup to run full in order for it to spill out into profits and revenue. So a lot of these attribution tools are looking for empty cups and trying to, there, we have it. No, what fill the cup with trust, credibility, questions, answers, objections, handle all of that on the front end, so that when it's thrown over to the sales pipeline, it is just about taking the customer through the nuance of the offer.
Yes, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. What it does is, I think it's such a mind change on being so value oriented throughout the process. Like, so like the way that you handle a question in your copy has to have just as much significance as if it would on the sales call and you're trying to negotiate through it. The difference is through the copy and over time, which does, you don't get to designate how much time somebody spends with you before they say, I'm ready. That's, I think, what you're identifying is that there's different levers, and that PDF might be something that is part of the overall reason why I end up doing business with you in the future. So to judge the success of the video or the PDF or the newsletter off of the single standing piece of content itself is like, it's almost, it's why I recognize there's kind of a like this rub when people who don't like marketing, supposedly they don't like marketing because they've been burned by it before, also still wanted to perform and they don't know how to measure. And that ultimately ends up putting it makes them not qualify themselves as to why they're in market for marketing, help someone to help them through that process. Because like it takes your explanation to me on our call about the difference of that awareness campaign. It fit in my mind as like, and you're talking about this even now, the difference between like a buyer cycle versus a sales cycle. I am not in the sales cycle until I engage you, say, hey, I want to book the call. Part of what your job is as the marketers, from what I'm hearing, is to slow me down from booking a call with you. You don't want me to just book a call immediately if I like the one piece of content, because you want to make sure that I know what I'm getting myself into to the best of my ability, as long as it's up to me, right?
Yeah, I think also people, B2B companies and individuals also need to pre-qualify the buyer too. So
Yeah.
I'm not for everybody. I mean, I'm good at what I do. I'm proud of what I do, but I'm not for everybody. I don't want people who will not work well with me to get that far in the sales process because it's a waste of our time. I work a very specific way. I have very specific philosophy that you might disagree with, or you might not like. The way I do things, I'd rather you find that out before we get into the mess of signing contracts. I mean, you find out, oh my God, this is the wrong stuff. I need my money back. I've been there. It's horrible for both of us. I'd rather you figure out, hey, I am not. I'll tell you what I'm not. I'm not a robot that creates AI template with beautiful notion boards, with all these beautiful tacky things. I'm not that guy. You want a tech-oriented marketer, which means not somebody who doesn't use tech, but somebody who overuses tech to make the simplest thing have tech attached to it. I'm not your guy. If tech makes you feel better about a buying power, don't buy from me. I do use tech, but it's minimal. I use tech as a tool. I am the tool. I am the primary tool you purchase tech. Tech just help me help you better. It's not the anybody. More people, a lot of people find themselves. I actually prefer beautiful notion boards with AI component and stats and this and that. Fine, go buy it from another guy. I'm not your guy. I'd rather they know that in the front end, to figure that out later.
Yeah.
So marketing is more than just awareness of you accept marketing awareness of this is what we do. This is what we don't do. This is where this is where we don't. We are not good at we are good at working with this type of person. We're not very good at working with these types of people. Nothing against them. We just don't buy that much. Dude, you market with respect and you have a whole customer base that that's my guy. He thinks like me. He's my yang to my yang. Yeah. But oh my God, I can't believe what did he even do? No, I need this guy. All the better. Good, go. There's more for all of us.
Yes. That's the other idea, is that there's as if there's scarcity out there. Like, you know, I ended up passing by a dealership here locally in the area, and they have this like an electric Hummer. This thing's enormous. It's extremely expensive. It's extremely heavy. Can't even go on some commercial roads without having to take detours because of the weight of it. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because somebody's buying that. Like, the reason it's on the lot is because somebody's going to buy that thing. So as much as people don't have money, and yeah, maybe in one light, or maybe it's just we're unwilling to meet people where they're at. for the type of consumer that they are. So you're right. We should pre-qualify people. And then part of pre-qualifying them is helping them to learn how to qualify themselves throughout the process. Because if I'm watching your newsletter, for instance, and realize I don't really like that, then that gives me a reason to not book a call with you. Otherwise, because I'm spending time with you, I recognize this is actually more credibility as to why this is the best decision for me. And so that's your point.
Example. That's the Hummer example. If I was running Hummer, I would say, hey, we in Hummer love gas. If you don't like gas, please do not buy from us. I guarantee you, your sales will go up.
Yeah.
The next time, I promise you, if you want to, instead of coming out there, electronic vehicle, trying to modernize that to make it something not. You buy a Hummer, you're buying something masculine. You're buying something that's been tested in wars all over the globe. Our Hummers can take RPGs and grenades and drone strikes and mortar. Our Hummers. And by the way, our Hummers use gasoline, and we're goddamn proud of it. Your sales will go up the next day. Why?
Yeah.
Because you're active, right? You're making your consumer base incredibly excited for this product. And you're repelling people who will never waste your time or the time of your Hummer salesman. So you will literally stop wasting their time. So that the only people who came to the Hummer dealership the day after that ad campaign will be the guy or gal or whomever who are very patriotic, love hard-working vehicle, and love their gasoline too.
Yeah, right. That's the part that people, I think, as businesses, I say people, but it's the people behind the business facade, are scared to do, is repel customers. That is something that is extremely common across brands. Is this so? Like, would it be fair for a business page, a business social profile? Should it be more of a operated like a personal brand?
I personally believe brands should operate like a personal brand. Yeah. What is a personal brand? Like, people correctly, but I think they get a hat. They're missing the other hat. Correctly attribute a brand to a personal relationship, right? Personal brand. So it's a personal relationship. Traditionally, it's one person. But think of Harley Davidson before Harley Davidson got himself into a bit of a pickle. Right?
Yeah.
So Harley Davidson was unashamed to be the motorcycle choice for bikers.
Yeah.
Somewhere along the way, they said, you know what? Let's try to get everybody. Let's try to create a brand for everybody. Then you no longer have a personal brand. Now you are a PJ. All these people. What happened to your core customer base? They get upset. They get upset. Of course. Mass media go, oh, look at those Harley Davidson consumers. Oh, they're so conservative and anti-woke. No. What they want is the brand that they grew up with, that they're proud of, that represents them.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. That doesn't make them good or bad. That doesn't make Harley Davidson good or
right.
bad. What is good or bad is when Harley decided to trample on their base and try to go broad and hook to cut everybody and adopt internal policies that are against the consumer base and try to do weird stuff that, in my opinion, instead of sticking to building a personal relationship with the customer base, with the central core customer. They didn't do that. Instead, they ignored their core customer, took off the personal brand, and just became a corporation.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Which loses the appeal of what I was attached to. That's what scrubs the personal side out of it. That's completely true. It's
John Deere. No, before everybody gets upset with me, I'm not some Alex Jones conservative craziness. All I know is that good brand create brand fanatics, and they typically do that by activating that tribal group identifiers. Right, so John Deere, farmer, American, hard worker, middle America, outfits them, the little guy, all that. announcing that they're going abroad to build their tractor overseas publicly, and they started doing things outside of the farmer brand. No, the farmer can no longer drive a John Deere. They're now repelled by the very thing that they bought. They're like, this does not represent me. This does not make me want to drive your tractor anymore.
Yeah.
First, when you go from personal brand to a corporate brand.
Yeah, that's brilliant. They're ultimately so scared of repelling the customers that weren't already their base that in an effort to broaden their market, they repel their base.
Like the wrong base. So
yeah.
You can do this on the flip side. So I've been talking about conservative brand. You can do this on the herbal brand. Same thing. You can do what is it? Lululemon. Which is very liberal. Open borders. We don't arrest people for shoplifting at our store, but they charge $200 for a pair of tidy whities. I mean, that's kind of decided between $200 tidy whities for women who work out and allowing people to rob stores because they had a bad start their life. I mean, that type of personal brand is a disaster because now it's spreading the market. You're overdoing it. What they really should have been focused on going all in, or the yoga mom, making a yoga mom feel sexy and her tidy whitey, and making it exclusive, and making it a great brand to rock. That's it. But they started trying to paint her and be something that they're not. So it's no good for anybody. It's not just the same thing.
That's so true. Like, because there's enough room for both of them to even exist. These countering ideas. It's like, you know what you mentioned earlier about
countering idea. I have no way want to live in a 100% conservative society. Nor do I want to live in a 100% liberal society. I love the fact that if one show a dog without mass media manipulating it, you can take mass media away from us. You take it out of the matrix. A liberal and a conservative should find a way to communicate what they both find valuable in their life and find common ground, not either or. You want it either or. You're conservative. I think conservatives need to be careful. If you want a pure conservative thing, we're going to turn it to Iran. Okay? We don't want that. We want a healthy mix of traditional values, but also some progressive ideals together and make a healthier state. We need a counterbalance between two opposing ideas. So I don't know why I turned political on Sunday, but it's election year. People are money is crazy. At the end of the day, I want both of us. There's room for both of us to be sitting together at the table, sharing a great meal without cutting each other's throat off.
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true. The balance of knowing, for instance, the difference between a ideologue changing the tone and trying to become the opposite versus sitting down with at the table is what I think I'm hearing identify. Like you mentioned earlier, not being like, you're not like some Alex Jones type. Alex Jones becoming all of a sudden hardcore left liberal would be, it would murder his base, and people would still find him even more inauthentic than if they already do, you know?
Exactly.
So it would be a different case for him to sit down, say at the table with somebody to speak about it. And it doesn't matter which figurehead we're talking about. Again, this isn't to be political. This is more about marketing. This is what the whole point is about outreach. And then what does that outreach both invoke in the end user and how quickly from the time that they start and being exposed to you to the time that they become part of your tribe, right? That you had talked about appealing to the tribalism almost of it is not in our control. So the consistency that we have between the initial contact to the point of conversion into a buyer, right? Or a client, an ongoing client, is subjective to them. Yet you can control some of those variables by knowing how to iterate throughout that process, right? I see. I guess one of the takeaways, because there's a few things that we touched on that are going to be absolute awesome sound bites to this. For you, if there was something that you could see marketers in general, whether it's a business person, a solopreneur, I recognize, like, if I were to contribute to this part, I would say, like, the term customer experience or customer journey has lost the meaning of the customer and the experience. Like, you've lost what it means for them to experience something, which is why, like in the Coke example we mentioned earlier, Coke is able to maintain their brand and then give you other options, but the machine is branded Coke, and they allow you to somewhat customize it at the end user point. Because today I wanted it to be a cherry Coke, even though I like regular Coke. They're allowing some level of freedom for me to do it while not losing themselves in the process, right? So that would be what I would say. What would you say is something that marketers should start considering with approaching digital market space this way?
So when we talk about the buyer journey or the customer journey, I think most people are thinking what a direct response marketer said almost 80 years ago. Before the invention of social media, before any of that, this was by a man named Eugene Schwartz. And what Eugene Schwartz was a direct response letter mailer. So that's what he was thinking of that. And so over the years, brands, companies have tried to take in that and try to pigeonhole it into 2024 reality. At the end of the day, the 2024 customer, never before in Rocket history has had this many options. They have so many options at their fingertips that the only experience we need to be aware of is what is important to them. And make sure, and you're going to find that what's important to them, transparency, being authentic, being trustworthy, having credibility. Then the question becomes, what can I do today to buy or win your trust? From this moment forward, well, the answer almost always is be radically transparent about who you are, what you stand for, what the problem solves, what it doesn't solve, all of the pros and cons of your brand. Then you will truly understand the 2024 buyer mindset, which is, again, it goes back to what we said way before. The buyer now no longer just buys Coke. They go to a kiosk and pick the flavor of Coke that is not even available at the grocery store. When we were growing up, I don't know about you, we used to call that suicide. So we get a cup, we get a flavor of each.
Yeah.
Because or we go to 7-Eleven and get 5 Slurpees in one cup. Whoa! Oh, brain free. That is the 2024 consumer. They are looking for choice. You can't make that choice if you don't allow them to and present them the best opportunity to do that. So the more transparent you can be, like the Slurpee machine, which is give them 5 options, show them the color, make them pick.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. That's very true. Very, very true. What a funny way to see how that's manifested in this light, right? Like, I never thought about how that absolutely is what we would do with the Slurpee machines. Absolutely. Absolutely. So it's just, they've just made it into soda and then branded it to be part of their deal. That's brilliant. Dude, if what upcoming projects do you have? Any upcoming cohorts that you're pushing out aside from someone joining the newsletter? Which, listen, man, if you didn't already the first time, I'm going to call you to do it again. Link is in the description. I'm going to even pop it up on screen. Give them a little taste. Look at that. See this?
Yeah, I have one major project I'm working on. It's I have a 6-week LinkedIn sprint program. It's one-on-one. You can sign in anytime. And what I've done is I've taken everything I've learned about marketing and still it's stripped it down to the highest ROI activity you can ever find. Most people like to waste your time when they put you through a program knowing they're going to upsell you because you have to finish up the offer. I don't do that. I'm giving you what you actually need to do. If you're a founder-led brand or founder-led company or just a solopreneur, from day one to the end of 6 weeks, you will know how to make a sale on LinkedIn. Let's start. So I've condensed everything I've learned about marketing, sales, LinkedIn, everything to only high ROI activity. And I have no upsell after that. I don't want an upsell up there. If I have to upsell you up to that, the 6-week program didn't work.
Excellent. That was very well said. And I appreciate you also kind of repelling the fact you ain't going to do an upsell on the end. Is this going to be something good for solopreneurs and business facing people too? Like if it's just a company page that they want to.
What the same, brother. You still need to get attention. You need to take that attention, educate their attention, and then you need to reach out to them in the DM and start a conversation. Not piss off them, not ask how the weather is, but start a genuine conversation and looking for a problem to solve. You're not the person to solve it. Refer them to somebody who can. Guess what's going to happen? They're going to trust you even more, and they're going to come back around. People still think, whatever I do today must get me a sale today. That is the wrong way to think about LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a relationship. So if you are my ideal customer, I reach out to you and I find out that actually you're a little problem. I'm gonna drop what I'm doing. I'm gonna make sure I hook you up with my guy who can solve X for you. Because I want you to win too. That's my transparent fear. So most of the time what ends up happening is that person starts referring me to other people, or they start coming back to my content and they're part of my ecosystem. Either way, it's a win-win for me.
That's brilliant. Brother, I really appreciate your time today. This has been insightful to me. You've even stretched my mind during this conversation. I hope that if you're listening.
By the way, remember, 2 years ago, I don't know if you were my ideal customer, but I helped you. I didn't worry about the sale. I said, Joey, whatever you do, you must get on video.
Speed to market has told me.
Years later, you're still in my ecosystem. You bought a product from me and talk about me. Now, was I manipulative? Absolutely not. I helped you. Did I know it's going to pay off in a friendship this way? No, but that's not the point. I knew that putting good karma out there, it's
going to come back. Yeah, it's going to come back.
Yeah. By the way, B2B companies can do this too. You know, sales reps for B2B companies should be unleashed and allowed to be a human being to help solve problems for people.
Yeah, that's right. I would encourage any company that's listening to please take that advice seriously. I see more often than not companies scared to let their hair down. They see the value of the Wendy's Twitter profile and are so concerned about not being Wendy's on Twitter that you forget the fact of being personal yourself and still being a human. There's I think it's like a wildlife reserve somewhere in the middle of America somewhere, man. It's a state I'm not going to end up visiting anytime soon, that whoever's running their channel is hilarious. And it's not bad. It's like they're just memeing actual moments in real life. And
companies do that. Like Wendy's, like Buffalo Wild Wings, like there's other brands who are like, you know what? Do what you want to stop. That's what people like. Have a good time. They know you're joking. But if we're going to be more serious, allow yourselves what to help people, dude. If you're a product, it's not the solution. Own it. Say, hey, I think you're too early for all products. But I know somebody who can help you. They're great for people like you. Oh, baby, this is not what you need. This will not solve this problem. But I know who can help you with that. And of course, the company said, you let it sell gold, bro. Well, you lost the sale either way.
Yeah. You might as well be a resource to them so that you're still in a good light in their mind, right? Instead of pretending like you had
to... By the way, that company, holy cow, I had the best sales call with them. Look, I heard you had that kind of... They're perfect for them. They're great. Just get on a call with them. They'll help you out. That's the type of vibe your content and your sales strategy needs on LinkedIn itself.
Man, that goes right back to selling trust. That's a way to add good water on the dirt and good seed in the ground on trust. Even if you're not doing business with me, that I would refer you to someone who can solve your problems and still be held in a high light in your mind. So you would still recommend me to somebody else, even if we didn't close together, right?
Yeah.
Well said.
Thanks for having me on, dude. I know. I ruined your intro. I ruined the format of the show. I'm a terrible guy.
No, you're not. No, brother, I appreciate it. That's what I signed up for, dog.